Morning all. Are you cold enough? You going to put the heating on? Ooh, I wouldn't do that. They're putting the prices up, aren't they? The price of electricity and the price of gas, the price of all the fuel that might keep you warm seems to be going up. Well, why is it? Because apparently it's not as expensive as it's being made out to be. An emailer got in touch with me, one of my lovely viewers called Mark. He said UK electricity wholesale price is actually 8 pence a kilowatt and not 30 pence. It's been like that for 12 months. And why is nobody talking about it? And I said to him, I don't really understand. Tell me, you've got to explain that to me. He said, I'll put together some bullet points and you can read them out, which will explain it all. He's in the industry, you see, so he knows what he's talking about. So this might get a little bit wordy, and I apologise for that, and I shall do my best to read it out. But why is it that the fuel costs we're being charged by these intermediates when actually the price of fuel is a lot cheaper? Let's find out. So here we go. He says the UK electricity wholesale price is actually 8 pence per kilowatt, not 30 pence for the last 12 months. So why is nobody talking about it? And he says the public is being fleeced. Not just with energy, but it appears in every sector. Well, we know that, don't we? We do know we're being fleeced. But specifically with gas and electricity, which has now become a monopoly. And all the watchdogs seem to have lost their bark and all of their teeth. Yeah. Since 2021, we've seen a massive price gauging. And I believe that what we're seeing is fraud being committed in an industrial scale. Oh, a little bit of fraud. We like to investigate a bit of that. So he says, with respect to gas and electricity, the surge in the massive price rises within the last 2 years was mainly blamed on Mr. Putin, who started the war. Sorry, who started the war is not really the issue. What followed is the real issue and agenda that is now being played out. Historically, graphs for wholesale prices of both gas and electricity is widely available on the internet. And a graph supplied shows prices for wholesale, which is what the big six who supply 80%, and 17 of the remaining small suppliers making the remainder that sell it on to us. He says, see the graph, and we press this link. Now I'm not quite sure. Let me just adjust that a little bit there. Where this graph is. Get full access. No, I guess the graph is underneath that. I don't really want full access. Oh, there you go. See, you want to show something. It's there, but I can't see it. I wonder if I can. No, I can't even access. So apologies. Can't show the graph because you've got to pay, haven't you? You've got to pay. But anyway, we'll take the basis of the email as our truth. So sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doing my best to bring to you the stuff. Anyway, going back, he says there is a graph at this web. I'll leave the link in there in case you want to have a look at it. Previously, the price the retailers like Eon and Octopus buy at is at. Previously, the price the retailers like Eon or Octopus buy it is at. Oh, for goodness sake, I'm making a right mess of this. Previously, the price the retailers like Eon or Octopus buy it at is per megawatt, or MW, or 10 kilowatts. But we are charged by them by the kilowatt, the kW, 1,000 watts. So if the market pays £100 per megawatt, then we would pay 10p per kilowatt if we were allowed to buy it straight from the grid, which we can't. Which is a bit of a blow, isn't it? As we can see from the graph, the price historically is anywhere from 6 to 10 pence per kilowatt prior to 2019. On top of this price is the cost to distribute the power on the grid, etc. To put it all into context, the last time it was 8 pence per kilowatt wholesale in 2019 and 2016, the average retail price was about 16 pence per kilowatt. So why is it so expensive now? And that is a very good question. Why? Because are these people just fleecing us because they can? They're the intermediates between. For the last 12 months, the average price for electricity was 8 pence per kilowatt, yet most of these retail suppliers are charging over 26 pence per kilowatt and as much as 30 pence per kilowatt, which is what the government set the price cap around. This is set to go up, the government have said, which What charts are they basing their information in? Yeah, why are they putting it up? The government may argue that the retailers had the right to charge additionally for to regain their losses of 2022. Well, the majority of them did handsomely in 2023, so the slate should now be clean, he says. So the question that none of the media is asking, why then are the prices still set to go up? Well, I think we just kind of know that, don't we? We're all just being, as he said, we're being fleeced. We don't really understand how fuel is being priced, and we just kind of accept it. Mainstream media seem to be in on it and say, oh yes, it's all very expensive, it's all very cold, bit of weather manipulation, all of that. Let's have a look. There's a bit more detail here. The Unite Union in 2023 produced a 158-page document entitled Unite Investigates Profiteering Across the Economy. It's systematic. So he did send me that document, and I'll put that on the website so you can download, or at least I'll put a link to it so you can download it in the description. He says this document, which amongst other sectors focused on the energy market and came to the same conclusion, having looked at the problem up to the end of 2022, even though the markets for energy have fallen back dramatically to pre-pandemic levels, with companies making even more profits, is being made than ever before. So companies are making more profits than ever before. It seems to have fallen on deaf ears. The conclusion, he says, is I believe that there is a plan to strip everyone of their money and assets, drive people into poverty, and then get rid of us slowly, which started with the elderly back in 2020 and is now ongoing as part of the Great Reset, and phrases repeated across the globe like build back better, and we have heard that. So, taking back control, he says, what we see playing out is no accident, but part of a bigger plan. I believe we have the power to stop it. We don't need pitchforks or civil unrest. The best course of action is to utter a 2-letter word to authority and corporations. No. And we've been saying that for a long time. No, thank you. No, thank you. Not doing it. Thank you very much. Not putting up with it. He says, if the whole of these shores decided to stay at home on Mondays and do nothing, no working, no shopping, that would reduce the country's income by a fifth and send a shockwave to the establishment working against us. In China recently, a slogan went viral, "Let it rot," a sign that the youth of the country were no longer going to put up with working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week like their parents. It sent a shockwave to Beijing. If, he says, there are supposed to be laws to protect the public from the profiteering, price gauging, and the information and the formation of monopolies, which are listed below, but the courts and the politicians are nowhere to be found, merely acting out their parts and being caught with their snouts in the trough, they forget the people are not stupid, but it will not stop until we make a stand. And he's absolutely right. At the end of the day, they can do all these things. And if we just let them, if we just roll over and we just say, well, it doesn't really matter, does it? We just roll over, they can do it. And what can we do? We forget. There are more of us than there are of them. They rely on us to make money, to go to work, to keep the economy going. They rely on us to do their bidding effectively. They keep thinking that they can tell us what to do. Well, isn't it time to say, well, hold on a minute. I have still some autonomy to my life. I can just decide, no, let it rot, as the Chinese said. Let it rot. No, I'm not going. Sod it. I'm going to stay at home. I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to go to the supermarket. I'm not going to buy some of your stinky food. I'll go to the farm shops, go to the small retailers, go to the small little businesses and survive from there. But I'm not going to go to these big ones. I'm not going to bother to go to work anymore, these big corporations. If you work at a corporation, just don't go in en masse. We have the power. We just have to unite. Instead of getting all these distractions about, oh my goodness, is there aliens coming? Or, oh my goodness, is it a flat earth or a round earth? All these other distractions. Oh, are they going to do a nuclear war any minute? Instead of that, we just go, no, hold on a second. I'm not just putting up with this nonsense. This is my life and the lives of the people around me. We want to thrive, and if you don't help us thrive, if you're going to fleece us, if you're going to try and get shot of us, if you're going to sort of inject us with goodness knows what, then to be honest with you, I'm putting my foot down along with everybody else in this country. If you're trying to sort of obliterate the farmers so we can't grow proper, healthy, organic food, if you're spraying the skies or putting poison in the water, or if you're surrounding us with 5G masts and surveillance cameras in the supermarkets and everywhere, do you know, I can't be arsed with you anymore. No, thank you. Not going to bother. Not going to bother. Sorry about that, but you have to play our game. We're not playing your game. So we do need to unite. We do need to get ourselves together, and we just need to say this is unfair. You're charging us for everything far too much. You're fleecing us, trying to get us out of our houses. You're trying to do a big land grab. You're trying to sort of knock us on the head and put us 6 foot under, pushing up daisies. It's not for us. Thank you very much, but no. That is the word that people should be thinking about. No. It's the word I'm thinking about. Are you?